Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and grab your sombreros, because we are heading to the land of tacos, tequila, and terrific Formula One racing. That's right, we are at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, where the air is thin, the speed is high, and the atmosphere is electric. Tonight, joining you from the commentary box all the way from Lebanon, I am Salim Haddad, and unfortunately, my co-commentator, Mr. Speed Quinn, is not going to be available tonight, so I'm going to be solo, and I hope that my voice is going to be as ear-pleasing as possible to you. Tonight, ladies and gents, we have 20 drivers on the grid trying their shot on getting the fastest lap time with 14 minutes to go. This is Mr. Woolley, a well-known driver. He used to race in the Formula 8. And we've got SJM with a 116.3, and that is provisional pole position. Well, he's the only driver to complete a lap time, so... and Willie gets a 116.0. His teammate, 0.3 of a second faster than him. Well, I missed these drivers, and it's very good to be back. Alex Ron gets a 115.9. That isn't a flying lap. I don't know which one would be. Lifeboat gets a 115.8. They keep on getting better and better. 13 minutes to go. The rules are very simple, and Chris gets a 115.8. 130. That is a 4 thousandths of the second faster than Lifeboat. We've got Marlon. Marlon gets a 116.0. SJM. Spike in 6th place. Ladies and gents, it's very good to be back in PSGL. I have been away for 4 weeks, and now I am finally back. And it's very good to be back, actually. Hello to Costinia TV. Thank you. Hello to our viewers. I hope everyone is having a good time. I would like to ask our viewers, who are you supporting tonight? Is there any specific driver? Chris gets a 115.2. Flying lap from the Aston Martin driver. We've got Shike behind him, a 115.7. And then we've got Pepine, 115.4. Well, as I was saying a couple of seconds ago, I have been away for the past 4 weeks. Personal issues. Thankfully, they have been resolved, and now I am back full-time to deliver the race to your ears, and I hope that it's going to be high quality. I hope that my voice is going to be ear-pleasing, and I hope that everyone's going to have a good time. Today is Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. Start of the week. People go to school. People go to work. But one thing to keep us cheering about Monday is PSGL Formula 1 nights. Formula 6 to be specific. We've got Chris currently, he's the provisional pole sitter with a 115.2. He's going to be going back to the pits. So 15 drivers so far were able to set their lap times. We've got 5 drivers who did not set any lap times. And these lap times vary from a 115.2 to a 116.8. And now the track seems quiet. There's only GSP Payne. He's probably in pain to be driving alone on the track. Hello, Omi. How are you doing? GSP Payne currently in 3rd place. His lap was invalidated. He's entering now turn 14 and 15 in the baseball arena. Into turn 16 he goes, and to the pits. Track is very, very, very quiet at the moment. We've only got Woolley outside, the AlphaTauri driver. Same thing for Mendes. But it would be more exciting to watch Mendes since he hasn't set any lap times yet. He has a purple Sector 1. On board with Mendes now. Into sector 2 he goes. Turn 7, turn 8, turn 9. If you get turn 7 wrong, you're gonna get them all wrong. So it's pretty critical here. Floors it down on the straight. DRS enabled, goes down to 3rd gear. Short shifts into 4th, heading into turn 13 now. Into the baseball stadium he goes. Very careful on the throttle. Goes down to 3rd gear. Slight throttle. Short shifts to 4th. Short shifts to 5th. Across the finish line, managing to get a 1:16.2 from GTZ Mendes. So 9 minutes to go. And it seems that it's going to be Chris sitting on provisional pole position. Is there anyone there to ruin his day? You know, life is about a competition. Life is always about ruining someone else's day. Because you cannot have... how many people... what was the population on Earth? 8 billion? You cannot have 8 billion winners. There's always one winner in everything. If you're not a winner, probably you're in the wrong sport. That's my advice of the day. As Fusion has just started his lap. How's everyone doing, by the way? Let us know in the chats. Where are you watching from? Omi saying, doing well watching all tiers at once to get an idea for later on. Yeah, it could be a bit exhausting to watch them all at the same time. So basically what happens is you submit your lap time and you will be classified in a specific division based on your lap time, and that's how you will get the chance to drive alongside drivers who belong to the same level that you are, which is going to make it more fun to race. Fusion, very low in ERS. Finishing his out lap. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, yo, yo. Easy on the throttle. You cannot floor it down like that. Well, we have had professional drivers crashing on that specific corner, on corner 17. Valtteri Bottas, to be accurate, with the Mercedes 3 years ago. JR Chris further improves his lap time, and it's currently a 1:15.1. Well done, Chris. Well done, Chris. 4/10 behind Pepine and the Ferrari, and in 3rd place currently Marlon, a 1:15.5, 1/10 behind. We've got Evo, also a 1:15.5. E-Shike, or El-Shike, a 1:15.6. You see how the lap times are very close to each other. You see how this brings up good competition. This brings up fun racing. We still have 2 drivers who have yet to complete their laps. Aidan is driving on a Sunday. He's still living in Sunday. He needs to hurry up because time is running. He's trying to recharge his ERS, I believe. And that's it. What? What just happened? There are not enough players remaining to start the session. You will now be returned to the session lobby. The lobby crashed apparently, ladies and gents, so we would like to apologize for this technical issue, and we will be right back. We are rejoining the session. Don't go anywhere. We are rejoining the session at the moment. And we're back. 3 minutes to go. It's still Chris on pole position. The original pole position. 4/10 away. 4/10 ahead. It's going to be very difficult for the other drivers to do anything. And now Chris finds himself in traffic. So I was saying, two drivers have yet to complete their laps. Terra Racer and Aiden, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. We also got Fusion with a 122.9. I don't really think this is a very representative lap of his. It's slightly off base. We're talking about 6 seconds off base. Two minutes to go. It's now or never. Is anyone, ladies and gents, gonna be able to steal the pole position from Chris? Only 2 minutes to find out. Most of the drivers are now on their outlap. The track looks pretty busy at the moment. Christian, what is Christian doing? Purple sector 1 from him, but big lockup. As he heads now into the third sector on the DRS, heading into turn 12, goes down to fourth gear, slightly misses the apex into the baseball stadium now on turn 13, goes down, short shifts into fourth, careful on the throttle there, short shifts into fifth, he floors the throttle down, he's going to be going across the finish line, managing to get a 1:15.4. That was a flying lap from Christian. 4/10 of the second away from pole position. The two JR team, the two JR drivers are in first and second. Pretty impressive, I have to say. Now we're still waiting for Aiden and Terra Racer. Aiden, last corner, turn 17. What is that? What is he doing? Aiden cuts the pit entry and goes to the pits. What is happening with him? I mean, you have to set at least a lap. Terra Racer set at 126.6 off pace. Wow. Wow, laser S-Shield. It took me a couple of seconds to process what just happened. So laser S-Shield got a 115.3, which puts him currently in second place. And 1/10 of a second away from him is Il Shaikh with a 115.405. Third place. And the time is up, ladies and gents. Time is up. The drivers have to finish their current laps. And I don't know if we're going to have any improvements. It's still Chris who's sitting on a provisional pole position. A 115.0. Is anyone going to be able to break his record in the Autodrome of Hermano Rodriguez, Mexico? We've got JR Nod saying JR cooking. Yeah, let bro cook. So time is up. Chris is out. Well, everyone is out. I think that's it. I think this is gonna be it. It's gonna be Chris of the JR team on pole position. So this is it, ladies and gents. It's JR Chris on pole position in Autodrome Hermano Rodriguez in Mexico. Well done, Chris. In second place is going to be Laser S-Shield. Third is going to be Pepine, Belgian driver. We've got two Dutchies in fourth and fifth. It's Il Shaikh and Christian. Outside of the top five, we've got Marlon in P6, followed by Evil. Alex Run in eighth. The French driver, Vive la France. In ninth place, Lifebout, followed by GSP Payne. Outside of the top 10, we've got Slow Salt Joy driving in his home country in Mexico. He needs to get a good result. And we were not able to catch the remaining 9 drivers. Ladies and gents, don't go anywhere. We're going to be racing in Autodrome Hermano Rodriguez. So, once again, ladies and gents, start your engines and grab your sombreros because we're heading to the land of tacos, tequila, and terrific Formula One racing. That is right. We are at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, where the air is thin, the speed is high, and the atmosphere is electric. This track is named after two legendary Mexican drivers, Ricardo and Pedro Rodriguez, who both tragically lost their lives in racing accidents, but their legacy lives on in this track, which has seen some of the most exciting Formula One races in recent history. Ladies and gents, 5 red lights are preparing. Silence before the storm. It's go for the Mexican Grand Prix. The lights go green. The cars go vroom. It's a wonderful start from Chris. Wonderful start from the Ferrari of Pepine. How many cars is it going to be? They're going to be going side by side now, heading into turn 1. It's a long straight. Whoever starts, whoever takes the inside line, it's Pepine who steals the first place. Pepine goes through. And what is happening? This is the Red Bull of Laser S-Shield, going side by side next to the McLaren of Christian. Christian goes through. Christian is now in 4th place. And Laser S-Shield is losing so many positions. He just yielded a position to the Alfa Romeo of Marlon. Finds himself in P6. And Chris ET8. He has the inside line here on turn 6. Still side by side with the Alpine. He comes on top and he goes through. Let's enable these things so we can get better data. So we've got only Pepine starting on mediums while all of the other drivers are starting on hards. And life is hard for Lifeboat. Life is hard for this driver. Finds himself in the wall. He spun on turn 11. Tricky corners. You get the first corner wrong, you've got the whole series wrong. And it's Pepine with the fastest lap at 121.1. These drivers are very close to each other. They're going to be receiving a gigantic amount of slipstream on the main straight now. No DRS yet, of course. We are still in the second lap. He's using ERS on board with GSP Payne. GSP Payne going side by side next to the Red Bull. He takes the inside line. Oh, Red Bull goes for the switchback. Nice defense. That was a little bit aggressive, but Evil was evil, and he kept the 7th place. Well done from Evil. Evil wins in the end. That's what they say. That's what they taught us in the fairy books, the storybooks. So we've got PGS Fraser saying, good luck, JR Nod for tonight. So Nod has supporters. Where is Nod? Nod, Laser receives 3-second time penalty. Where is Nod? Probably I need glasses. I don't see any Nod. Are you sure that's the division? That's the correct one? JR Nod. I don't see anyone with that name. And it's NLR Pepine also extends his lead. 118.9, 1 second ahead. Yeah. Spike. Spun on turn 17. Gotta be careful. It's a very tricky corner. You cannot be full throttle on it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go once again. It's Pepin leading the race. Chris is gaining up to him. He was able to close down to 2/10 of the second. In third place, it's Il Shaik, followed by Christian. In fifth place, Marlon, 2/10 of the second. Very close to Christian. You can see some action. Let's take a look at these drivers. SJM, Lifeboat, behind. And he has Nicolizzi ahead. And we've got Wooly spinning around, losing positions, going down to P19. Bad luck, Wooly. Yeah, these corners are very tricky. These S corners. Begins on turn 7 and it ends on turn 11, right before the straight. And if you get one single corner wrong, you're going to get the whole list, the whole series wrong. So Pepine's still leading the pack. DRS has been enabled. It's going to be a lot easier for the drivers to do overtaking maneuvers. Going on board with Marlon, 1/10 of the second away from Christian. And now he's going to be receiving DRS on the second straight. Now heading into the second straight with the DRS enabled, getting very close to the McLaren. Take a look at the power of the DRS. Side by side now, heading into turn 4 from the outside line. McLaren still trying to fight. Now he has the inside, heads into turn 5. The McLaren off track. That was an illegal move. The McLaren went off track to defend his position. In my eyes, that was an illegal move for leaving the track and gaining an advantage for JR Christian. These two drivers are not teammates in this league, but they are teammates in their esport team. It's the JR team. So they need to be good to each other, or else they're going to be grounded by the team. Entering lap 5 now. Pepine still leading, 7/10 of the second behind Chris. Chris with the DRS enabled. Well, we'd like to remind you that Pepine is the only driver on the mediums. So he might be a little bit faster than the others and the rest of the pack. Take a look at Marlon. Marlon with the DRS enabled. Marlon, nothing happens. GSP Payne was 1/10 of the second away from the Red Bull. Marlon receives a 3-second time penalty. DRS enabled once again. Take a look at Marlon. Marlon, 2/10 of a second away from Christian. Nothing's gonna happen yet. Seems there was an overtaking barrier. that is stopping these drivers. Well, Chris is still on Peppine's tail. He wants to give him a lot of headache. Doesn't want him to go away. Despite the fact that Pepine has the faster compound, the softer compound. Well, this race has been exciting so far. And speaking of exciting, did you know that Mexican Grand Prix has been voted as the best F1 race of the year for 3 consecutive years? That's right. This race has it all. High-speed straights, tight hairpin turns, and a passionate crowd that brings the noise. Chris was able to get to 0.3 of a second away from Pepine, but it wasn't enough to do any overtaking move. Let's take a look at the other drivers. Oh, we've had an overtake. We missed it. Mendez was able to take the 11th place from Solfold, but now I'm going to be back with Chris and Pepine. I missed it. No. So nothing happened between them yet. Laser Esild still in P6. So let's take a look at the top 10 at the moment. It's Pepine leading the pack with the Ferrari, Fusion, and Aiden. Fusion losing his car on turn 6, going down to 19th place. So let's go back and tell you about the top 10. It's Pepine who is still leading the race. He has had a wonderful start. He started from P2, took the inside line, and was able to overtake Chris. Ideally speaking, the guy who's going to be starting from 3rd place has the most advantage, because he's going to have the inside line, plus he's going to be receiving slipstream. Chris. 0.1 of a second away. Marlon with a DRS enabled. Marlon takes courage. He's got Spike spinning again. Chris, DRS enabled again. Not enough. Oh. Well, it's good that he was able to stop his car in the nick of time. Otherwise, he would have crashed into Pepine. Taking a look at Marlon in P5. 0.2 of a second. Oh, he has had a better exit than Christian. The 2 JR drivers are still battling each other. Into the 3rd sector they go now, into turn 11 with the DRS enabled. Oh, Marlon is very low on ERS. 3%. It's going to be very difficult for him to get closer to his teammate. His teammate has 24%. Well, these people need to learn how to save ERS. Taking a quick look at the ERS management. Life out. Oh, no. We've got people in the 70%. Marlon and Christian. Marlon with the DRS enabled. Marlon! He's very low on ERS. Is it going to happen now? Oh, yes, he does. He needs to save his ERS. Oh! He came in like a torpedo. Did you see the shred bull? Laser Esil came in like a laser. The others are so lucky that he did not crash with them. It's really scary being an F1 driver or a racing driver in general these days. We have had the loss of Craig Breen a week ago. He's an Irish rally driver. He was one of the fastest drivers, one of the funniest, wittiest. So that's a big loss to the Irish motorsport and the racing family in general. Prayers to Craig Breen. Pepine has had a wonderful exit, extends the lead to 1 second. Is Chris going to be outside of the DRS zone? No. Because he was less than a second away on the DRS detection zone. She's right before the corner. Oh, laser. What happened to him? I think he retired in the pit stop. I thought he crashed. He retired inside the pits. It's a yellow flag. Yellow flag, sector 1. I'm really curious to know what kind of strategies is Pepine gonna be doing. He has completed 8 laps on the mediums. For how long is he gonna carry on? Question of the century now. We've got another yellow flag, sector 1. Fusion, who has decided to retire. In sector 1 specifically. Pepine still leading. We are on the 10th lap of the race. Chris, 6 tenths behind. DRS enabled. ERS enabled. And they've got this yellow flag. Fusion decided to retire. No, it's not really nice to retire. Never give up. Always keep a small drop of hope. You never know what could happen in the race. 10 drivers might crash and you might finish 10th, and you might get the crucial point that helps you to score a decent position in the final standings in the championship. Never give up. Always give it all. Finishing a race with a bad result is better than crashing from a good result, from a good position. Because you need to finish in the end. Take a look at Payne. 2/10 of a second away from the McLaren of Christian. The DRS enabled now, 3rd sector. Let's go back with these two. Pepine and Chris. Chris still in the lead. Pepine still in the lead. Chris 6/10 of a second behind. It's a bit difficult for Chris. Payne now, 3/10 of a second away from Christian with the DRS enabled. 2/10 now. Is he gonna do anything? Let's go back to Mendes. Mendes goes through like a rocket and overtakes Chris. Jumps up to P9, and oh, that's a McLaren. Lawn mowing. Eating grass. It's Christian. Ah! I think I've been kicked from the lobby again. I will rejoin. I have no idea why is this happening, but let's pretend that these are advertisements now. Speaking of advertisements, you should check out GT Omega. They've got awesome kits. Link in the description. Oh, why is this happening? And we are back. Thank God. Ladies and gents, we'd like to apologize for the technical issues. But we are back in the lobby. Tonight I miss my co-commentator, Mr. Speed Quinn. And I hope to see him soon again in the commentary box. So we missed some of the action. But we are back now. Pepine still leading the race. 6 tenths behind Chris. This is the 13th lap of the race. El Shaikh is in 3rd. Marlon is in 4th. 2 Alfa Romeos in 3rd and 4th. Payne in 5th place, followed by Evil. We've got Alex Run in 7th place, followed by Mendes. Chris in 9th, and Christian in 10th place. Mikulidze has just received the 3-second time penalty. I am really curious to know what kind of strategies are these two going to be going for. GSP Payne is only 3/10 of a second away from Marlon. GSP Payne is now going to enable the DRS. He's saving his DRS. That's smart from him. Marlon is very low on ERS. Marlon goes away. GSP Payne goes through. Very easy for him. Marlon, I thought he was trying to fight back, but he's defenseless. You are defenseless without ERS. You can't do anything. Uh-oh, another yellow flag. I think Spike has retired from the session, has retired in the pits. GSP Payne has a train of cars now. Chris is now only 3/10 of a second away from Pepine. And Payne has a train of cars, has 3 cars behind him. This is the battle for P4. You know something? Pepine is gaining some time on turn 17. And Chris is gaining time back on the straights. On the straights with the ERS and the DRS enabled. Is he going to go for the... Oh, he hesitated. He hesitated. Maybe because there was a yellow flag. You're usually not allowed to overtake under the yellow flag. Christian was able to overtake Chris. And Chris receives a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Marlon now 3/10 of a second behind Payne. And look at Adon. 4/10 away from Soul of Salt. There's a train of cars forming behind Christian. DRS enabled for Idon. It's going to be going now into turn 12. Let's go down to the lead of the race. Chris and Pepine. Chris knows something. Chris is up to something. He knows that if he's going to be in first place, he's not going to be receiving slipstream anymore, so he decided to stay in second place. That is a big gamer move, a pro gamer move, a 9,099 IQ from Chris. Decides to stay in second place. That way he's gonna keep on receiving DRS, and that way he's gonna push Pepine into committing a mistake, especially that Pepine is on 15 lap old mediums. These tires are tired. They want to go home. DRS enabled once again for Chris. Into turn 13. And Christian has just received... Christian and Marlon. Both JR drivers. Just received time penalties. Is Pepine gonna pit now? No, Pepine stays out. Still on board with Chris now. Chris is a lot faster on the straight than Pepine. He just gained 4/10 of a second on a single straight. The RS enabled once again, 1/10 of a second. Is he gonna go for... He lifted, bro, lifted. Chris lifted. He's really into something. He knows something that we don't. Chris just doesn't want the lead. Mikulitsi in P16. 4/10 of a second behind Uli. You know, that's perfectly standing teams. We've got two Alpha Tauri in 14th and 15th, and we've got two Haas in 16th and 17th. That's visually nice. Let's go back to the lead. I am really surprised. And Pepine goes straight to the pits, ladies and gents. Chris carries on. 16 laps for the mediums are too much, according to Pepine. And now Chris is provisionally leading the race. Is Pepine going to be able to do the undercut? Very interesting question. A lot of drivers are going to the pits as well. Pepine went on to hards. Christian went to the pits. Same thing for stop moving. Alex Run and Terror Racer. They're pitting for mediums. Pepine rejoins in 10th place. Well, we are lucky that we haven't had any safety cars so far. Safety car kills the excitement of racing. This is Aidan in P8, 4/10 of the second behind Chris. We are now on the 18th lap of the race. We are halfway through the race. Well, if you're able to do half the race on mediums, then of course the hards can last a lot longer. Uh-oh. We've got a yellow flag. I think someone retired. And these folks are going to the pits. Someone retired in the pits. I think that's... I don't know. It shows me that someone retired in the pits. I have no idea who it is. Chris is still out, ladies and gents. Chris is still out, and he's leading the race. He has a 5-second lead on Ilchik, who is second. And these drivers have left the pits. Let's see, where are they going to rejoin? Aiden rejoins in 13th place. Evil in 14th, followed by Wooly, 2 seconds separating them. 1.3 seconds behind Mikulitsi in 16th place. And Terror Racer, last but not least, at the moment, 6/10 of the second behind his teammate. SJM is 4/10 behind Lifebout. Lap 19. This is Autodrome Hermano Rodriguez. Well, let's talk about some cool facts and stats, shall we? Did you know that the first Mexican Grand Prix was held way back in 1962, and that it was won by none other than the legendary Jim Clark, who went on to win 2 more times at this track? Very, very interesting fact. Jim Clark, of course, was a Formula 1 legend, former world champion. This is live bout and Slow Salt. They went to the pits. It's their time now. Well, if Pepine did 18 laps on the mediums, then of course everyone else can do 18 laps on the mediums. Of course, that depends on their tire management. Slow Salt rejoins on 12th place. This track specifically is very critical in terms of penalties. You can see the majority of the drivers have penalties. The track limits are a bit, let's say, fishy. They're ambiguous. They're a gray area. I'm talking about the third sector specifically. Starts on turn 7, ends on turn 11. It's very easy to receive penalties there. Very easy. Easier than you think. Yeah. Speaking of penalties, this is Wooly receiving a 3-second time penalty. And they decided, our leaders have decided to go to the pits. Tris goes to the pits, goes on for a set of mediums. Same thing for El Shai. Where is Pepine going to be rejoining? Oh, it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very exciting. Pepine, ladies and gents, Pepine succeeds with the undercut. But don't forget that Chris has the fresher tire. But it's going to be difficult for this lap for Chris to drive, to give it off full throttle. He needs to bring up temperature to the tires. He needs to warm them up before he can attack. And we can say that he lost 4/10 of a second. This lap only. Just less than a lap. Pepine took the lead back. His undercut worked out. Unless Chris has any tricks hidden up his sleeve. Now the two provisionally leading drivers, Payne goes to the pits. Marlon decides to stay out. But he's losing time. He's losing time. Ladies and gents, this track has seen some legendary drivers, but don't count out Lewis Hamilton, who's won at this track twice before and was looking to make a late season surge in the championship standings. And let's not forget about the hometown hero, Sergio Perez, who's always a fan favorite and will be looking to put on a show for his fellow Mexicans. Marlon is losing a lot of time now. Only 9 seconds now separating Pepine from Marlon. Pepine getting a lot closer to Marlon. Let's see Lifebout. Lifebout is 4/10. Mikulitsi and SJM side by side. SJM has the inside line going side by side. Still side by side on turn 6. Mikulitsi around the outside line. Goes through. How on earth was he able to find grip? That move from Mikulitsi is out of this planet. But now SJM with the DRS enabled. SJM. Oh, he tried to move to the outside line. He did not succeed. Marlon finally goes to the pits, and it's now Pepine leading the race once again. Let's go back to Pepine to see 4/10 of the second separating them. Heading now into the second DRS zone. Take a look at Wooly and Mikulitsi. I mean, Wooly and Lifebout. Wooly 3/10 of a second behind the McLaren of Lifebout. No DRS. Because the DRS detection zone is far. Let's go back to the leading two drivers. Pepine and Chris. It's the fight between these two drivers. Pepine is on hards. Chris is on mediums. Well, Pepine was able to stay ahead of Chris the whole race while being on the mediums and Chris being on the hards. Now the roles have been reversed. Is Chris going to be able to do anything to hurt Pepine? Chris with the DRS enable. Chris just lifted. Chris just lifted. But Chris, you should know that now your tires are in their prime. Your mediums are now fresh. If you're faster than Pepine, you can just overtake him and build a gap. Because you have the faster compound. What are you doing? You're not going to be able to be competitive near the end. It's going to be Pepine who's going to have the advantage. I don't know how he's calculating it. I'm sure he has had his training with the JR team. But I think he's doing a mistake here. It's very obvious how he lifted. Evil in P12. DRS enabled. Usually the human being is greedy. He wants to overtake. He wants to get on with it. 1/10 of a second. Oh, Chris finally decides to overtake Pepine. Or did Pepine let him through on purpose? Full course yellow safety car. Full course yellow safety car. What just happened? Full course yellow and a safety car. I think. Well, nothing happened. No one retired. No crashes. No nothing. Probably someone spun. And now we have a safety car. There's something wrong with this game. And Chris is one of the luckiest people. You know, the second that Chris overtook Pepine, the safety car has been launched. And full course yellow. And the yellow flag was raised. So Chris is very, very extremely lucky. Of course, tonight I'm missing my co-commentator, Mr. Speedquin. I wish him the best with whatever he has, and I hope to see him soon next week. So safety car, safety car. Ten laps to go, and I'm curious to see if any of the drivers are gonna go to the pits. What are these two doing? Yep. Evil goes to the pits. 7 laps on the mediums. Yes, that is too much. What is he gonna pit on? Another set of mediums. Of course. Mediums are the fastest tires. Well, here's a question for the fans. If you were Pepine, would you pit behind the safety car for a fresh set of mediums, or would you stay on the hards? Well, you risk losing positions. That's for sure. You're gonna have to overtake them back again and again. But the hard is not the fastest tire. And he's gonna be receiving challenge from the drivers behind, because the safety car brings the drivers together. Just like French fries. They bring the, or pizza. They bring the family together. Costinia TV is saying penalties, please. Yes, sir. There you go. Lifeboat has the most penalties. 15 seconds. Well, he receives an award for that. For the most penalties. Ten laps to go, ladies and gents. No problem, Costinia. By the way, your name sounds Brazilian. Oh, that's That's interesting. That's interesting. Mikolitsi went on softs. It's gonna be very. It goes back to the pits. Why? You know, 10 laps on the softs could be a bit too much. You've got one more lap behind the safety car, so let's say 9 laps on the softs on a track like Mexico. It's very demanding in terms of braking, so softs are not really recommended. So Mikolitsi has done the right decision now. And he has a catch up to be doing. Same thing for his teammate Terra Racer in 16th place. Chris and Pepine. I believe the safety car will be in this lap, is it? No? One more lap. One more lap behind the safety car. I don't get it. There were no debris, there was no crashing, there was nothing. And the safety car has been called a full course yellow. And Chris seems to be racing the safety car instead of racing Pepine. Well, you cannot race the safety car. The only thing you're gonna win from racing the safety car is penalties. Additional penalties. Something that nobody wants. Well, let's read some facts and stats about Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Well, it's a unique track in the F1 circuit with a layout that combines long straights, slow technical sections. The most famous part of the track is the Foro Sol Stadium section, where the cars race through a baseball stadium to the delight of thousands of fans. But racing at this altitude comes with its challenges. The thin air over 2,200 meters above sea level means that the cars have less downforce and the engines produce less power. So the drivers have to be extra careful with their brakes and tire wear, as the lack of air resistance means they go faster and generate more heat than at sea level. Well, another fact, guys, did you know that the Mexican Grand Prix was absent from the F1 calendar for 23 years, from 1993 till 2014? That's right. The race was brought back due to popular demand and has been a fan favorite ever since. And speaking of fans, Mexican F1 fans are some of the most passionate in the world. They come in droves, dressed in colorful outfits, waving flags and cheering on their favorite drivers. One corner. The atmosphere is electric with mariachi bands, dancers, and performers adding to the festive mood. Chris with the restart. I don't think that was a very good restart from Chris. Who has had the best restart was Il Shaik. Side by side with the Ferrari of Pepine now heading into turn 1. Pepine interplaces himself between the two cars. Pepine saves from spinning. He has had a little bit of contact now, fighting with the Mercedes as the inside line pushes the Mercedes off track. That was some awesome defending from Pepine, but now he's going to be losing a position to Il Shaik. Seems Pepine did not have the best strategies. Pepine now still trying to fight around the outside line, defending himself from the Mercedes. Finds himself in third place. Well, the hards were probably not the best option for the dying stages for the last few laps of the Mexican Grand Prix. On board now with GSP Payne. Payne looking to apply pain to Pepine. Ladies and gents, let us know in the chat who are you supporting. Mendes and Christian. Mendes with the inside line. Of course, no DRS yet. GSP Payne makes it look so easy. Well, the hards are no match for the pace of the mediums. Of course. It's very sad for someone who has led the race for so long. One tiny mistake. Christian and Aiden. Christian and Aiden. Aiden has the inside line. Oh, yo. Aiden goes through. Evil goes through. Christian has had a little bit of oversteer. Moves down to P10. And his place is in danger. Chris from ET8 is getting closer to him. Chris now leading the race. He's going to be starting the 31st lap. In second place, Il Shaik, followed by GSP Payne. DRS has been enabled. We've got Pepine. Very unfortunate today. Moves down to P4. We've got Alex Run in P5. Marlon in P6. Evil and Aiden. Evil was able to overtake Aiden and moves up to P8. But Aiden is still close to him. Well, Aiden is on a 12-lap-old mediums. Well, Evil is on fresher tires, of course. Of course, that's a very important factor. How new your tires are, what is your compound that you're driving on. All of these things make a difference on the car handling, thus on the speed and pace, race pace in general. And Chris extends the lead to 2.2 seconds, while Wooly has just received a 3-second time penalty. DRS enabled. 5 laps to go, everyone. Evil and Mendez. Evil has no more ERS. It's going to be very difficult for him. He sends it to the inside. That was a very late break. That was very courageous, very brave from him. And it could have ended in a crash. Evil not willing to surrender, still using his ERS despite the fact that, oh, Mendez closes the door on Evil. Evil will be taking the inside line. Evil goes through. Evil wins in the end. Mwahahaha. Evil takes P7. Well done. Well, in my humble opinion, Pepine was the biggest loser of the day. He messed up the strategies. This costed him a race win. GSP Payne half a second, 4/10 of a second behind Il Shaik. He's now going to be receiving. DRS is getting a lot closer to Il Shaik. GSP Payne is going to be moving to the inside line. It's going to be very late on the brakes. Goes through. GSP Payne is now in second place. Well done. Bravo. Chris. The 11. What happened to Slow Salt? Slow Salt. Ay, he spins in his home Grand Prix. It's going to be a race to forget for him. Of course, famous Mexican driver is Sergio Perez, who is a fan favorite around this circuit. Chris extend his lead to 3.6 seconds. What happened to Lifebout? Lifebout spins. And he's without a front wing now. He crashed on turn 8. Moves down to P16. Unfortunate there. All of these things have started to happen in the dying laps. Chris still leading the race, 3.6 seconds behind GSP Payne, followed by Ilshike, who is half a second behind. Pepine, half a second behind. 8/10 behind Marlon. Evil goes through. Evil overtakes Alex Run. Three more laps, ladies and gents. Lifeboat pits for a set of softs and a front wing change, a nose change. But I doubt that he's going to be able to do anything in these 3 final laps. You know, the funny thing, we've got a JR Chris and we've got a JR Christian. It's a bit confusing. This JR Chris is sitting comfortably in first place, extending the lead lap after lap. It's now 4.1 seconds as he has just started lap 35. Mendez in P8, only 1/10 of a second with the DRS enabled. Mendez overtakes Alex Run and jumps to P7. Alex Run is starting to struggle with his tires. 17 laps on the mediums is too much. I'm currently on board with Aidan of the Alpine, looking to chase Alex Run, trying to apply the pressure on him. Heading into turn 7. Flips the apex. Into turn 8. Into turn 9. Into turn 10. That was a very good exit. It's going to enable the DRS. Small lockup from his side. Let's take a look at Ilshike. Ladies and gents, this is the last lap of the race. Chris leading. Ilshike, it's now or never. DRS enabled. He moves to the side of GSP Payne. Ilshike, very late on the brakes. He goes through. He goes through. He takes the second place in the crucial time. And look at Pepine. Pepine has Marlon all over the place, trying to defend himself. He has drained his ERS. Marlon fails to overtake Pepine and receives another penalty. Is Pepine going to be able to keep the 4th place for himself? Question of the century now. The $1 million question. Chris. Wooly spins, loses positions, but ladies and gents, it's this man who has had smart strategy. It's Chris who wins in Mexico City. I mean Mexico. Mexico City is is the state, I think. Yes. So it's Chris who wins in Autodrome Hermano Rodriguez in Mexico. Ilshike in 2nd place. Mendez in 3rd place thanks to the penalties. Aidan in 4th place. We've got Evil in 5th. GSP Payne in 6th, followed by Pepine 7th place. It's going to be a race to forget for Pepine. Alex Run in 8th place. SJM in 9th. And Terra Racer, who just lost his wheel, in 10th place. Mikolizzi, well, that's a wonderful comeback from Terra Racer and Mikolizzi. These 2 drivers were the last 2. But unfortunately, Mikolizzi is not going to be receiving any points. Ladies and gents, Aidan has been voted as the driver of the day. Let's take you to the podium for the celebrations and the champagne showers. Well done, Chris, the Aston Martin driver. That was a brilliant race from him. He waited. What's the word? He fasted. He refrained from overtaking his opponent. He waited for the right moment to strike his attacks, and then his patience paid off as he won the race in Mexico. So well done, Chris. Ladies and gents, here are the final unofficial results. It's Chris who wins the race. His fellow Dutch Ilshike in second place. We've got Mendes in third place. Outside of the top three, Adon in fourth, Scottish driver. Evil in fifth place. Payne in sixth place. And these names are really creepy. We've got Evil and Payne. Pepline in seventh place. Alex Run in eighth, followed by SJM in ninth place. Terror Racer, 10th place. Very, very, very good comeback from him. Mikulitz in 11th, Christian in 12th, Marlon in 13th place, Chris in 14th, Slow Salt, very unlucky in his home Grand Prix in 15th place, Wooly 16th, and the other drivers did not finish their races. Ladies and gents, it has been a pleasure to commentate this race. I hope that my voice was ear-pleasing. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next week. Salim Haddad, kissing you good night.